Hello, SimTheWorld here, getting dirty with some Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. On today's video, we'll be unlocking some new tools to help in diagnosing our future orders, and also we'll be fixing up a lemon of a vehicle. Get ready, we're about to jump right back in. On the last video, we had opened the garage to include a test path to help diagnose brake and suspension issues. However, on our very next job, we found that still wasn't enough to fully figure out the car's issues, without having to guess our way through it. This is why we're going to try and unlock a few more tools. Let's check out the toolbox to see what our options are. You see up top we have several perks to help increase the chances of repairing damaged parts. We'll save these for now, as they'll become more important when we can go to the junkyard for used cars and parts. Below that is a row of perks allowing us to examine parts faster. This again will speed up the process. There are better perks to choose from initially. What we really want to focus on are the perks that automatically examine parts as the car comes in, as well as faster screwing and unscrewing. Both of these will help us with the grind. And finally, we'll also want to look at the perks that allow us to unlock new tools. If we look here, first tool that we can unlock is the electric multimeter. This will test some of the electronic components and give us a readout. The next tool is the OBD tool, which will plug into newer style vehicles, and it'll give us a readout of any issues in the car. And finally, we have the compression tester. This will allow us to check for any issues inside the engine without tearing the whole thing out. Our goal today is to get these unlocked and to try them out. I better get to work if we're going to be able to get this done today. While all jobs in the game are fun to work through, sometimes you just want to get to that higher level to get that skill point unlocked. This is where picking your jobs carefully pays off. You can see these jobs require a lot of work. When you complete a job, you do get a bonus of about 100 experience points, so whipping through jobs quick is the name of the game. If you take a muffler job, we can see, well, there's 4 parts to be discovered. We throw this on the lifter. Get this up in the air. Exhaust components are pretty easy to find. There's a rear muffler, middle muffler, another middle muffler, and if I had to guess, that's going to be our 4th part. For this, we're going to have to get in from the engine. So, buy the parts we need. We need 2 middle mufflers and a rear muffler E all the way at the bottom. And we'll need the front exhaust section V8 OHVD. Now let's jump into the front end and replace that part. We'll need to take the manifold off before we can get to that. We'll need to lift the car back up. While you're working on the one car, always keep an eye out for other muffler jobs. We just missed one, but there's always another to take. This way we'll have a cycle of vehicles coming through. We're going to take that off. Now we can replace all our parts. And another middle muffler. And finally, the rear exhaust, rear muffler. And we have to make sure we finish off. We got to put the manifold back on. And just like that, we're done with another job. As you can see, some of these jobs can be super easy. Get this up on the lifter. And to help spawn new jobs, you can decline the other orders that you're not going to work. This will help spawn them in quicker. Hopefully you'll get more muffler jobs like this. And we need the exhaust manifold I6B. So, come to our tablet, exhaust manifold I6B. This is actually going to be under the engine. This one's a little buried. We need to take the air filter off. Remember, for each additional part you take off, that's one experience point. And we're going to install the new part. Put the carburetor on. Air filter base. Air filter, won't bother changing it today. And just like that, another job is done. We've just increased the level. Another job that's quick and easy, I'll get you experience points and a few bucks in your pocket, are the transmission orders. Contrary to popular belief, this game, they end up being pretty easy. So we're actually going to take both of these cars, make sure we get them. And with both of them here, we're going to throw the first one up on the lifter. The car in the air will come over to the underside and find the drive shaft. For almost every transmission job, you don't have to remove the drive shaft before getting to anything else. And with that off, come over to the transmission, remove the starter. Sometimes you'll have to access the starter in the engine bay. Most of the time it will be on the undercarriage. gearbox we'll need to replace. Clutch bearing we'll have to replace. Clutch pressure plate we'll have to replace. Clutch plate and the fly rod and the flywheel. Then we come over to our gearbox. And we'll find all the parts we need to replace. Let's just check that gearbox to confirm that it is V8 OHV. Let's make sure we get the right gearbox, because these are expensive. $900. And we'll quickly throw on the parts. What's nice about these jobs is they only take a handful of screws. I'm sure there's a mechanic out there pulling his hair out just thinking at how simple this game makes the transmission. Maybe in future games they'll go a little more in depth. Today we don't even open the gearbox. And finally we'll put the drive shaft on. Make sure to connect to both sides with our super long wrench. And with that solves all the issues. Pays out $9,000. That's how we can make some serious money. So again, get this Mustang up. Be a similar process. Mustang up in the air. We come to remove the drive shaft. Need to remove the starter. Gearbox, this will need replaced. It's a V8. And it looks like all the standard transmission pieces will need bought as well. Let's jump onto our tablet. We need a V8 gearbox. Sometimes these all hide, they all look very similar. And finally, our standard transmission pieces. There are 4. With that, put the flywheel on, clutch plate, pressure plate, release bearing, and the gearbox. We'll reassemble the old parts. Sometimes it's hard to get the camera angle just right on the drive shaft. If you can aim for the middle, you can usually get a view. In this case, we'll just have to reach out extra far. And another job complete. It pays out $5,000. Let's check out this muffler job. This might be the last job we need to get to level 10. It only needs one part. What luck we're in. I'm gonna lift it up all the way and see if it's on the undercarriage. That middle muffler looked awfully rusty. I think I've got one on stock. And with that, we are now level 10. Go unlock our perks. So we wanted to grab instantly examine tool, faster screwing for sure, the electronic multimeter, the OBD scanner, and the compression tester. With that, we've got all the tools we need. Alright, so we've taken the story mode job. Let's see what we need to fix. And we've got a laundry list of parts to check. See what happened. I bought this machine from a friend of mine who needed money quickly. He assured me that the car was fine, but I feel it pulling to the right. This strange smell, like mushrooms. From what I remember, he works behind a desk, not in sales. Anyway, check what's wrong with it and make it usable. So if it's pulling to the right, let's see if we can get it on the test path. This will identify if there's any suspension or brake issues. With the test rolling, we're going to check the front brakes. And we see one that we'll need to replace. Similarly with the rear brakes. I have one in the red. Let's check that front suspension. All looks well there. And now the rear suspension. But it does look like we need to replace a lot of the bushings. Oh boy. This is going to be a project. Let's see how many that identified. We still have a handful more to find. Let's go check out our new tools. Now that we're in the engine bay, let's see what we can find. Let's check the examining tools, and we'll run the electronic meter. We should check the coils and the spark plugs. Could these be the cause of the funny smell? Nope. Let's keep looking. Let's check the compression test. Pistons all look good there. Finally, let's check the OBD scanner. Oh, this car's too old. Looks like we're on our own finding these last parts. And with that, I think we're going to save the rest of this job for our next video. Thanks for watching as I simulate my life, one game at a time. If you like this video, please be sure to hit the subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates to future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.